Saturday! Welcome everybody to Speak to My Heart on this beautiful Saturday. Hello, we had none other than my brother over there from Chicago, back Chi-Town, always in the house, rocking the mic, Mr. Wade Simmons.
Hey, my
My
sister, how you doing?
my brother from another mother over there, Mr. Two. Not only that, he is an advocate for people to know that your voice matters, you matter, and most importantly, you should give. Open your mouth. Share you. Don't be ashamed anymore. That's why I said this is a superstar Saturday, y'all. This is gonna be different. It's different because this is the last Saturday of June, the last Saturday of they say Men's Mental Health Month. That's the most important part for me is being able to have men speak. Speak freely.
Absolutely.
Fuck
Okay.
yes.
Okay, you back now. It froze for a second.
Okay, check this out. Can I pause it? Is there a way to pause it? I'm gonna pause it and move. Don't move nowhere. If I could pause it, if anything, what we're gonna do is we are gonna relocate real quick. So we're going to just continue to let him introduce himself. Ah,
Yep. So I'm Wade Simmons from Chicago. I'm here on my sister Kiana podcast. We always have a wonderful conversation. I'm a funeral service worker. I'm an artist, a filmmaker, also trained for professional wrestling, but most important, I'm a child of God, and I hope you are as well.
oh, it seems like we have a lot of other outside little, music and sounds because I don't like to call everything disturbances because I know that that's my friend Whitney about 3, 4 rooms down. And I turn my music on, she turned her music on. It's not a competition, it's actually harmony because she got some nice little, like little cha-cha type music, but it's really not. It's like flowing right. I told you it's super Saturday. Don't forget, shout out to Don Cornelius and the Soul Train family because this Saturdays are always for me dedicated to that because around this time on the East Coast, Soul Train would just be going off because it's 1 o'clock and we would go outside now at this time.
Oh,
See,
okay.
you got
I
to
remember
support.
someone saying, hey, we get that.
Right, right. Look, and then don't forget the Soul Train line. Everybody was trying to get in that line now. Hey, wait. How you been? What you been up to since I talked to you the beginning of the month? And now we had to revamp, regenerate, rejuvenate, keep being mindful and aware. So
I'm
with
just
all what you been doing?
I'm just embracing change. I had a dream today that just reminded me that change is something that's very uncomfortable, but it's necessary, and it's a part of life. Look, it's been here before we got here. It's here. It's change happens while we're here, and change will happen when we cross over to the other side as well. So it's just a part of life. But it's been a lot going on, but I'm just making adjustments, taking life one day at a time. Just as I shared and we talked about last time, my mentor and the funeral director that I used to work under, Mr. Spencer Lee Jr., he made his transition. So that was a really big change for me as well as some of the other workers in his family. So it's a heartbreaking change, but we have to keep pushing forward.
I'm over here. No, 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 don't touch that. Don't touch that. So I like you said, shout out to the funeral home and the workers, you and everybody there. Because it's one thing, I got stuff following. We know about it, it's a book. when we are together in an environment that we work with each other, right? Because y'all actually have to work with each other to make sure that families are cared for. in this time where it's we got to say goodbye. Okay, because some words we do have to like make sure that we're when you gotta say goodbye. What is one thing that you give to the family? You know what I'm saying? Because it's not that we don't know how to give, but sometimes there's no words. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what's one thing, one piece of advice that you actually give to the families so they can maybe like lean on knowing that they're not alone. Lean on I know I matter. Lean on you're not in this by yourself. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Well, whenever I get a chance to speak, I always, you know, genuinely share because I feel like whatever you tell a person, you can't just be following a script or nothing like that. It has to genuinely flow from your heart. And I just always say, that, while we have the opportunity, let us continue to love one another and continue to create memories together. Because that's what life is about. Like, sometimes we can't put it like this. Some things like death is out of our hands, but we can, use the time that God has given us to just enjoy one another, to love one another, to forgive one another, to laugh with one another, sometimes to cry with one another, but just appreciate the small moments because that's like, and I put it like this, like I'm learning more and more to be present. Because a lot of times when we're in situations, people thinking about the next moment, they thinking about the next day, they thinking about the next week, but we have to take life one step at a time, one moment at a time. So my best advice is to always love one another, to cherish those moments and take nothing for granted. That is the way I live my life every day.
Embrace them. Yes. Especially when you said cherish. So it's like for me, I'm not a mortician, but I am Coach Key. I am self-actualization, self-realization. Where are you at in the reality of what's going on? And be honest. If you ain't feeling none of it and you feeling yourself about to be a whole time ticking bomb, what advice would you give to our men out here, especially our black men?
Sometimes you
Because
gotta
they don't know, we got to, they
sometimes to
don't
be honest,
see.
sometimes you gotta step away from situations sometimes till you get
Mm-hmm.
yourself together. Because to be honest with you, you are more better to your situation in your right mind than you are not being stable. Because I know sometimes we tell people, you just got to keep going, but no, that's cliche. Sometimes you do have to take a step back to collect yourself, you know, and you gotta be there for yourself and for your families. But if you can't be there for yourself, you ain't gonna be able to be there for nobody else, you know.
Right. How you gonna go be somewhere for somebody else when you really not there for you? Let's keep that real. There is no way for you to be for somebody else when you are not even say yes to you.
Yeah,
Yeah, without me saying anything else, I'm not. You're going to go do some homework dealing with Kiana now with saying yes to you because I've been saying it for the last 7.5 years. If the grandbaby and the grandchildren can know what say yes to you mean, if Wade can know what say yes to you mean, if other brothers and sisters out here, let me tell you what it means. Just what he's saying. Love you. Love all of you. See, when you go care for them parts of you that don't nobody see, hmm, when you go care for the parts that don't nobody see,
hmm,
can't nobody see certain parts of you that hurt, that need a hug, that need encouragement, that need a word, just a word. What word are you going to give yourself?
yeah,
And you know what words that you give yourself. So give to others the same words, the same encouragement, the same advice, the same compassion that you know that you either give to yourself or give out to yourself.
absolutely.
I got
Yeah,
a question.
sure.
If you had to sum up, bring my book up so I can look like a teacher. If you had to sum up your favorite movie in a poem, how would you go about it?
My one of my favorite movies would be The Bronx Tale. Um, and I would go and how I would go about it is just I would make it about life because one of the themes in that movie was the saddest thing in life is wasted talent. And so that's what really drew me to that movie because like that movie kind of makes you think about like purpose, you know. I
Mm,
think that was one of the best, Robert De Niro movies I've ever seen. That's one of my favorites called The Bronx Tale. But I love I loved how they kind of dealt with the theme of the saddest thing in life being wasted talent. And so
mm.
if I was to make a poem about that, it would just be about purpose and not wasting your talent.
Purpose and not wasting your talent. That goes back to your gift. Because if I'm working in my gift, like, okay, I'm gonna pick the book up. So, Chi-Town big brother to Chi-Town little brother. That's me and Wade's funny. Only person know what it means to me and Wade. So, yeah, he brought some stuff for me to do some more artwork on and stuff
Oh,
like that.
nice.
Right. And my brain is like, I can't see that. I can't see that right now. I got the show. I can't look at that. That's too much stimulation. Those people who understand that, right, know how to. Okay, I'm gonna just show you one little thing. I'm gonna put it back up. So, and that's when then I'm like, this me like you dancing in your head because you want to look, you want to get to the arts and crafts, but at the same time, you do not have time to do that. So balance. How do you actually balance? Hey, I'm a whole black man out here, and I got to think about my mindfulness. But I'm fully aware of all the hats and the seats and the things that I got to do. Y'all forgot I matter too.
Yeah, I try to analyze. I try to analyze everything. I analyze how I spend my time. If I feel like I'm wasting too much time, or wasting too many moments,
Right.
what I actually do, I hold myself accountable, and I try to make that change like right then and there. Like right now, I have some affairs that I have to take care of, and so I was spending too much time like not that what I was doing was bad, but it was taking me away from what I needed to focus on. So I say, okay, God, I'm gonna just cut myself off of this from this day so I can focus on this. And it's just all about being accountable and holding yourself accountable because nobody really can hold us accountable for the choices we make but us. So we have to make sure that we love ourselves enough to make sure
You know,
that
like we're gonna do like Conceited. Shout out to Conceited out here in the world. If y'all don't know who he is, y'all need to go watch Wild and Out or go catch him on the YouTube when he be in his rap battle. So hey, I'm telling y'all, there's some stuff that I just really, 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 really enjoy. One of those be rap battles. So shout out to Conceited. He be like, slow it down, rewind. What you just say, bruh? You said, let's clear the throat for this. You are only responsible for you. You are only holding you accountable. Can't nobody really hold you accountable or wave a little magic wand and make something happen for you to be accountable for self. So I got to be responsible. My actions, my behaviors, any of myself, right? Right? Oh, okay, we got to go to
absolutely.
notebook. Right. So with that being said, do you have any funny rituals that help you change to switch the gears within yourself from serious nature of mortician and filmmaker and all that to creative mode? What your
Actually,
switch goes off?
actually, they're kind of interchangeable for me because, and the reason why I say this is because I'm always thinking about life. I'm always thinking about purpose and thinking about if I'm using my time wisely because that's important. Even as a filmmaker, like when you're making a movie, you might have a whole lot of scenes that you may have to cut out, especially when you get the editing and you got to figure out, okay, what's needed. And that's really how life is. And so to me, I think it's very important. And I can only speak for myself, but to, analyze my life and just make sure that I'm not spending too much unnecessary times on things that are not really pushing me forward. And that's how it is in filmmaking, that if something doesn't really push the story forward, you kind of cut it out.
Uh, cut, cut. Don't serve the table, cut it. Their price is way too high. You need to cut it, cut it, cut it. Clip. Now that audio's not gonna work. We're gonna have to do a voiceover real quick. But that's what we gotta do for ourselves in our lives. See, I told you, it's cool when you talk to somebody that y'all speak the same, like filmmaker. You understand life in life, and you understand that breath is here and then breath is gone. It's just, I'm not laughing about that. It's just my ways of dealing
Mhm.
with in the now, because I'm trying not to tear up, because shout out to Water Valley. We just, we lost not a soul. We didn't lose anybody. We just, somebody has gained their wings also in the last couple of days. The other people that have lost, somebody, are, like they say, gain their wings. So I have something for everybody that my daughter-in-law did, and she did this years ago, and inspired me for my diamond art. Shout out to Miss Abigail Robinson. That's my son's wife, Mr. Anthony Robinson. The Robinsons, as they like to say. So, to all those right now who are, going through, he just has a way of dealing with stuff, and I like colorful stuff. I like art and everything, and this is what helps me get them. So, these are diamond art angel wings, and I'm gonna just say this right here: they're not gone. They're just above you right now, looking at you, helping you, holding you. When you need them wings of comfort and love, just think of this picture right here, and think of what's going on. Wings of love, wings of comfort, wings of direction. You know what I'm saying? Because we do have those who really sometimes need that piece of advice, and we don't have that person. We don't have that person. I can go sit and go get you your snacks and come sit and vibe with you, and we chilling. What profound insights about life and unalive, that was my word for it, have you gained through your work that you believe everyone should know?
That
So,
life is precious and it is very fragile. And when something is fragile, that means you have to treat it with care. So I believe in life that we should never be careless. I think we should be more intentional because, again, every day of our life, those are days and moments that we'll never get back. And
mm,
because, like, a lot of times people will say, I don't waste my money on this, or I don't waste my money on that. But, money is only materialistic. But our days, our life, our breath, that's one of the richest things, to be honest, to me, that God gave us, is because without that, we can't enjoy any of the things we have in this life. So to me, I think it's very important to, you know, just be grateful and thankful for life, and just know that God has given us the power to make our own decisions in life. And so we just gotta, again, it goes back to accountability. We have to hold ourselves accountable for the choices we make. If we make mistakes or whatever, don't beat yourself up about it. Just move on, do better, grow from it, learn from it. But yeah, it's just all about treating your life with care, handling every moment with care.
handling the every moment with care, I like that really for real, because when you just take that into receiving mode, a lot of times people don't receive, right? But the moment that the brother that got the Benz coming down the street, throw some wisdom and some knowledge out there, because his pocket's fat. He got them whips, he got that ride, he got that house, he got them girls, all of that. And he give you some advice from his life. And then Wade, sitting right there on the porch, give you the same advice from a place of knowledge, understanding, compassion, the soul of him, right? Which is from the experience of experiencing. That's what it looks like when brothers don't, I'm a, oh, bro, like dap you up and bump you up. Like, yeah, you just spit some real knowledge, right? Because we're attracted to materialism. We're attracted to the dollar. You attracted to that car. You attracted to people, places, and things, and houses, and all this stuff. And if it disappears, once again, it's an illusion that has you caught up in being delusional and not becoming the whole distracted to what's distracting you.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's why I always say that one of the richest things I always say I have is my relationship with Christ, and my relationship with my heavenly Father, and my relationship with myself and to other people, and how I treat other people. Because to me, that's one of the biggest things. Like, the world is not necessarily a bad place. It's only bad when we give room to things that are not, good, and things that hurt each other, and all that stuff. And even materialism, like I always say, I'm not a very materialistic person. I don't, can't take none of that stuff with us. So I think that the best thing we can do is love each other, treat each other right, help our fellow man when we can, and not even doing those things to be seen or trying to get any recognition. It's just about having love in your heart for other people, you know?
So that look like a person got to go check themselves. Like, seriously, if you ain't got no love in your heart, you really need to go check yourself. And I'm saying in the sense of I'm not being nice about it. I'm not about to be nice about that because we have so many people running around talking about they got love for other people or others. That means you're saying that you love you. If you saying you love somebody else, that means you love yourself. You are not going to tell me that it means any different than that because I love me. I love you, Wade. Right, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Love isn't touchy-feely like we've been taught. Love isn't all this other nonsense that we've been taught. Love is a frequency. Love is a consciousness. Love is knowing that I am love and I walk in love and grace.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Yeah, love is not putting people in situations that can harm them, or rob them of their peace or their joy. Love is a powerful thing, and so I stand on that. I try
Sitting
to
up here
surround
talking
myself
about
with.
we love each other, but we can feel that you don't.
Yeah.
Most, yeah, we can feel that you don't. I can see that you're not expressing. I'm going to feel being around you that you are about love, and I'm going to feel that you don't care. And now I'm going to see that because your behavior shows that. What
Absolutely.
conversation should families have more often?
They should have conversations about things that make them happy, things that maybe trigger them, because I think a lot of times a lot of families do deal with trauma. Um, family members don't get along, and it's not just a white thing or a black thing or a Latino thing. This is something that I see in a lot of different ethnicities. Is that a lot of times, people don't really get along, and sometimes it's over stuff that really don't. But I'm gonna be real. But a lot of times it's over material things. Um, especially with families that have a little more wealth at times. And so I just think it's one of them things where, like, sometimes we gotta grow out of that materialism stuff, because that stuff don't really serve us no purpose. Nothing wrong with having things that you like or whatever, but I think that we should love people more than we love things. That's just my own personal opinion. Yeah.
That's what it comes in at. What's the greatest commandment?
You
Only
what
reason I laugh about it is because when you had pastors that have actually taught that and taught it in a way that has guided you to an imagination space, right? Imagine the disciples asking Jesus this. I have an imagination, so I'm going to say this to y'all. Don't get upset because y'all don't use your imagination. Seeing is knowing. Forget believing. I don't believe the lie and the hype no more. I know. So if I envision it, then that means I saw it. So now I got to do is take the vision that I saw inside of me and apply some pressure to what I saw so I can create it outside of me. So I envision them asking that, and then Jesus looking at them like, did you not hear what I said? Like calmly, like a whole, and the look, it's for me to look and to calmly, and then turns around here and then gives them a parable. He don't even tell them off that. And then he tells you in the parable to love the Lord thy God Almighty first. Where is God? The God in me, the God in you. So you got to still go sit down with you.
Yeah, and that's why I say, like, when I look at a lot of things that happen in the world, a lot of it is just really people, some people hurting themselves or hurting other people, and that's not love, you know. And so I just only hope that as people that we start to realize that, we can't really look for these different entities to, make our lives and our reality better. It starts with people just having love in their heart for one another. Because when you got love in your heart for people, you're not trying to manipulate nobody. You're not trying to get over on nobody. You're not trying to control nobody. You know, anytime that's involved, that ain't love.
What you saying? It ain't
That
love.
ain't love.
It sure ain't. How can men begin building a support system of love? Cause see, brotherhood. I don't even know how old Will is. That was here last Sunday, right? But his answer to what does brotherhood look like, he said love. Right? That just ended me asking anybody else. I don't need to ask nobody else. Love summed it up, and but building that as I would call it, that foundation.
It
Building.
starts. It starts with people who are honest. It starts with people who are no nonsense. And I say no nonsense because when you really got genuine love for people, you ain't really trying to tear nobody down. You're focusing more on trying to build people up and trying to help them to lay the foundation, because love is not envy, it's not jealous. You know, love
Mm,
says if I want to win, I want my brothers and my sister to win too. So to me, like, I've actually had the privilege of being a part of this group called Open Up, with a friend of mine named Savam. He's out in Canada, I believe. But I
mm,
think that group has did a pretty good job of bringing different men from all different nationalities together and from different countries together. And so I think that's a very good group to reach out to, called Open Up. But yeah, I think it takes people to be no nonsense, to be real, to be caring, to be loving. Because I know, in our society we talk like a man got to be tough, and that can be true to a certain degree. But I also think that's what's really wrong with the world, though. Like, like for instance, when you go to a grocery store, you know, somebody mad at somebody because somebody took their parking space, or somebody accidentally stepped on somebody. Like, we don't really have to be so angry. It's not, again, the world ain't a bad place. It's when we give room to things, when we give room to hatred and to violence and all that stuff. We do have the power to change that narrative. It's just a matter of if we are going to choose to.
that one right there. Choosing. Choosing. Building requires you to make a choice within yourself. Am I going to stay stuck? Am I going to continue? I'm wanting this right here, what I see, but I'm doing this right here. Some got to change in there, which is
Absolutely.
you. You are the change. Like you said, when love says we all win. If I'm winning, we winning. That's just how I see it. Now, how Wade sees it, but for me, when it looks as sisterly, sisterhood, I don't care if we just argued yesterday. If I'm winning, we winning.
Yeah,
I don't,
I can tell you this. I always say that everything that I've been blessed to do, I've always brought my brothers with me. I know some people talk about you can't bring people. I don't necessarily think like that because first of all, I surround myself with like-minded people. And my whole thing is that I'm not one that try to hold anybody back. Like I want to see everybody win. That's the way I know. And again, I know that's not the nature of the system, But again, we are not the system. We are human beings, and we have to learn to be more aware for ourselves that love really is a powerful thing. Because if we have more love in our heart, we won't see nobody out here robbing and killing and stealing from each other and hurting one another and racist and all that stuff. It's a lack. It's all it is a lack of love. It come down to one word. It's just a lack of love. If I love my brother and sister, I ain't jealous of nobody. I'm not envious of them. If God gave you a talent, use it, shine. Look, I'm rooting for you. I ain't trying to pull you down and tear you down. Same thing with social media. You see so many hateful comments and all this stuff. Now, I can expect that from a bot. Yeah, I said it because a bot is not a real person. But when human beings do it, it's kind of sad. And to me, it's just like why? Like why do we really sit around hating on one another or it's stupid. I hate to use the word, but it's stupid when you think about it. It's stupid.
stupid.
It's
What are
stupid.
you talking about? It's stupid. It's stupid to be stupid and do stupid stuff. Don't get me with words, cause that's stupid.
Like why I'm gonna
And
sit around and waste my running time just like a movie, which I call life. I let the days I call it running time. Why would I sit around wasting my running time being jealous or envious towards somebody or being mean and like that's stupid, you know?
I'm just because it creates a culture of people that live in a negative thought pattern. And as long as we're all on the same thought pattern like that, we really are feeding off of each other. And then the moment that you have somebody that really doesn't know how you operate, how y'all deal with each other, now y'all are going to congregate together to, I'm going to get her. I'm going to get her. Every little thing. Like you were saying, like
Well,
taking
I get
this,
it. I get him
taking
the key.
this.
I get them the key to come out of that prison because that ain't nothing but a prison. Here go the key if they want it. But
Right. I ain't gonna do nothing. I'm gonna show you that you are your own. My name is Kiana, and I am my own key. Hello,
boy,
I'm the treasure. Hello, treasures in Clay's jar. Who the clay jar? You the clay jar. Where the treasure at? Within.
yeah,
You
but
looking for the treasure right
but like
without. See, wisdom is far more better than any ruby jewel on this earth. But people don't seek wisdom. They seek outside of themselves.
absolutely, and wisdom comes from God.
Hey, friend, that's calling in.
That my grandmama.
Oh, okay. So, with that being said, how can we create a culture that encourages open conversations about mental health?
Not being so judgmental, not thinking we know everything, not thinking that everybody thinks like us, not thinking that everybody handles everything the same way. Because once we kind of diversify that people have different personalities, then I feel like we can learn to collaborate better. Because again, not everybody think the same. Because sometimes some people are, well, I would have did this. Or, no, sometimes you got to let people vent. You got to let people talk. You got to let people share their grievances because again, we can't tell people how to feel. And I think the problem is sometimes we try to silence people's pain. We try to, get people to just brush. No, we have to learn to deal with things in the appropriate manner so that people can heal from things. And it's okay for things to take time. Sometimes it takes people a little longer to heal from situations, or it takes them a little time to forgive people for certain things. So I understand it as well.
Right,
But I
right.
think it just takes having understanding because that's very important as well. You can't really have wisdom without having understanding, you know.
I can't even ask the other two questions because they deal with understanding, and you already didn't said that one because that was my thing. Like, how can you help somebody heal? How can I help my brother or my sister? How am I gonna say I'm my brother or my sister's keeper? But then when they need a shoulder to lean on, you ain't even giving that. You sitting up there. I just got to give some of the stuff that people have said to me, right? Don't even worry about that, girl. Just do you, and then what that look like. You want me to not worry that I'm not doing. I'm telling you how I feel about a relationship, because that's what it is, or whatever. And you give me, oh, don't worry about it. Basically, let me go put the lid on that right there. That's right there. Go throw your little stuff on, get your little stuff together. Don't be boppity bop, because that's what that look like to me. That don't look like I'm healing. That don't look like I'm sitting over here hurting inside and telling you how I feel about somebody else or something that that person did or however that person has made me feel from whatever actions. And then you come up and you say, oh, can't nobody make you feel no type of way. If you come over here and pinch me, I feel some type of way. The hell, one, you touched me and you pinch me, I'm cool on you. You did something. We can't keep masquerading what somebody else did, and that's making them not be accountable for their actions. And that's how it runs back to accountability. You're making an excuse and not looking at, oh, that person did that to you. Look at what I'm saying. That person did that to me, and I feel some type of way. But I'm going to always do this thing. I'm going to get myself out. I'm fully aware of how I'm feeling. I'm being mindful that I can't stay here, but I'm fully aware and admitting to myself that I feel very, excuse me, saying, fucked up. I feel that way. And I'm saying it in a masculine way because of the fact that we have men out here who are suffering because you want to tell him, it's all right. You all right. Don't cry about that. You don't think I know what that feels like as a woman? Yes, I do.
Yeah.
People that want to tell somebody else, oh, don't cry about that person. Don't do that. This is what you're doing. Everything that you told me not to cry about, not to worry about, not to concern myself with. Don't even worry about it. Suck up your tears. You ain't supposed to be crying about some this like that. And I'll put a fucking lid on it. Now, wait. Tell me what's going to happen to me.
That's a ticking time bomb. when you tell people to suck things up, and that's a ticking time bomb. That's a circumstance where somebody at some point is going to explode, and that's what you don't want. So that's why I say it's okay to just let people vent, let people have their moment, try to figure it out, you know. And sometimes that allows people to just step back and try to look for another angle, you know. It's important to try to look for another angle, but sometimes you have to let people have their moment to do that, because not everybody thinks about everything the same way. Not everybody has the same thoughts about everything. So we have to give people space to do whatever. That's just like, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Like, recently, I had the privilege to go visit my both of my grandfather's graves. They're buried at the same cemetery here in Illinois. And I'm not really a person that really goes to the grave a lot, because you have some people that say, well, they're not there, they're gone or whatever. But when I went and I was there, with my family, because it's what they wanted to do, I kind of started going down memory lane a little bit, and it kind of brought back some really great memories to me. I like, it's stuff I never thought about in a long time, but by me doing that with them, it gave me a different perspective. Of course, sometimes people know that person is gone, but that's just sometimes the way that some people like to honor and remember their loved one. So who am I to tell somebody, you shouldn't go there? Like, no, like, everybody deals with life and handles things differently, and it's okay. And I think that as people, we have, like, I know we've been taught to kind of be so hard, and to be so strong. And but to be honest with you, it's not it's not always weak to be vulnerable. Like, a lot of people don't understand that. Sometimes being more vulnerable takes strength to admit that things bother you or you're not happy with something. Because again, when people hold things in, that's a ticking time bomb waiting to explode. So I've learned, in my years of dealing with people, I don't tell people to hold stuff in or suck it up. If you want to vent, scream, cry, do whatever you got to do, just let it out. I understand, you know, because I'd rather you do it than for a person to just explode.
Right.
I can
Because that
tell
is
you now, I got a cousin right now in jail. I'm not gonna go into the situation, but he had a person that was picking with him at work, and he was holding it in, got tired of it, and let's just say now he's in jail. And I wish that wouldn't have happened, but that's why I
love
tell
you,
people
bro.
don't
I don't know
don't
where you at, but love
don't
you,
hold, don't,
bro.
hold, don't hold things in. Sometimes you do have to address things. You do got to
About
address some bothering you. You try to deal with it more in I call it a godly way. But if you don't open your mouth and speak up and try to handle things a certain way, then at some point it might end up getting out of hand. And that's any situation. Whether it's in marriage or sibling relationships or parent relationship, whatever. People, we all human, and so we all internalize things differently. So me, I'm like this. If I got something I want to say, I ain't holding it on. I'm gonna say, hey, my sister, can I talk to you for a minute? We'll hash it out or whatever, and we okay with it. Now some people might like I got some friends and stuff that when they feel a certain way, they may cuss me out. Like I had a friend, I had a friend of mine when she feel a certain way, she had cuss me out. But that was just the way. That was just her way of expression. Now I don't handle things that way, but everybody's different. Let people
right.
grow and come into their own habit, whatever way. I wouldn't handle things that way, but I'd rather people just go on and get it out before they explode.
Facts. With that one, that's like you being the boiling pot. You put a pot of water on the stove. So is it the more water that I put in the pot, or is it the fact that pot sitting on the stove and it's just burning the
Sometimes it's
bottom of the pot? Huh?
sometimes it's a combination of both.
I think that's how that force comes out. The heat is getting inside of you, and you already hot, and now it's just getting hotter and hotter and hotter. And my thing is something is that mindfulness needs to play a part with both people. I am mindful that you getting on my nerves. I'm aware of that. And it is situations where people like to say these little nice little things out their mouth, like, oh, well, you should have just left. How am I gonna leave when I'm at work? How am I gonna leave? How am I gonna leave when I live here? How what? You want me to just be isolated? Don't go push somebody
I had a
back in the
I,
dog.
I
You
had a
pushing me
coworker.
back where I was. You pushing me back where I no, seriously. I'm over here trying to let you know that it's a situation. I'm saying yes to myself. See, we just conjured up a real good one. When you saying yes to yourself and you got to deal with people, places, and things,
Mhm.
and you can't leave, what that look like? What we just gave?
Yeah,
Somebody's gonna end up being a time bomb.
yeah,
They not a bomb like that. They gonna explode. They gonna be dynamite.
yeah,
But
yeah,
you ain't dynamite like he was. We ain't that type of dynamite going
yeah,
on. We
yeah,
over here being the pressure pot, being
yeah.
the boiling pot on top of the stove with a lid on it. And you forgetting that you the pressure. See, stop putting all this emphasis on the next person because they doing the work. When your ass want to project your hurt, you projecting hurt ass motherfucker. And you get mad because I'm saying that to you. No, it's a test the spirits by the spirit. And my grandparents already said, call it out like it is. If you being a monkey, that's what you is. Being a monkey because you like monkey juice, monkey things, monkeying around, and eating and sleeping with monkeys.
I got you.
Monkey stuff. Tricks is for kids, y'all. Y'all done forgot that part.
Yeah, they told that silly rabbit that. But yeah, but it kind of reminded me when you were talking. I had a coworker at the funeral home one time. he walked out and said, "I'm overwhelmed." Just walked out the door.
Oh,
but,
I'm overwhelmed. Let
but
me get
look,
it out.
I get it though. That's why I say sometimes you have to let people, you got to let people collect themselves because that's very important. And like I said, I learned how to express myself
We
differently
flipping
because
that. No, we flipping that just because it say yes to you, speak to my heart. You gonna have to let me be me. I let you be you. Let me be me. I have to talk some stuff off that one. You better let me be me, knowing
I
I let
remember
you.
I remember one time me and my little sister, we was at the airport. We was coming. I think we was coming from Florida, and we were kind of exchanging how we felt about some things. And I'm just like, look, I'm cool or whatever. This how my sister like. Well, I don't handle things that way. So we had to come with a way to just kind of walk away peacefully. It happens because again, all of us are very different. We handle life different, and that's okay. That's
Cause
okay.
Wade gonna be calm, cool, collective. And the moment I do this, the moment that come out my mouth, Wade already gonna be like, I got a key. Oh, you better. Cause I'm gonna ask for But that's here goes. Why do you have to be like that? Why do you have to be how you are? See, I can go back and forth with you now because identity is my superpower. Identity is my super cape that I put on every day. Baby, I like how I am. I know when I need to be feminine. I know when I need to be masculine. I know when I need to be both. I know how to be balanced. But to you, it looks unpredictable because of the fact that that's your perspective. That's your perception. Am I going to argue with the way that you think? No, it says so a man thinketh, so you think that's what you see. Don't play with me. And because you stereotype traditional cultural bias, negative Nancy and negative Norman, and you got unaddressed issues with you, you don't know that the brother and the sister over there trying to heal because it look crazy to you. Because healing to you look like prescription pills while you playing with me. And then I sit up there and tell you that I don't want none of that. I like my holistic, universal, sourceful stuff that I get, my fruits, my nuts, my berries. You thinking that's crazy because I don't want to go take a crazy pill that's gonna make me feel chemically imbalanced. Why you playing?
Yeah.
Boy! Now Wade's gonna give us, because I freestyle. He thought he was gonna run away and we're gonna get us today. Oh no, that won't happen. Wade is also a poet. I like to leave that out a little bit sometimes. Wade be having bars on top of bars over there, Chi-Town. I just wanted to say that go flow with that because you spoke on a gift and a talent, right? And that's my biggest thing is for people to utilize their gift and talent. And what does that look like? Doing the one thing, two, three, four things, two, that you like doing, and you do it with the least amount of effort. It's like doing this. The least amount of effort. Everything else was effort, right? But just least amount of effort. Like that. What is it you do with the flicking the wrist? Huh? Flicking the wrist. Least amount. Least amount. This is no effort.
well,
This is no effort.
yeah, but the way I'm built is I've learned for me, I don't sweat the small stuff. I remember a couple of months ago, I was actually on the podcast about bullying, and I think I shared this story before that. When I trained for professional wrestling, there was a female wrestler actually that kind of showed some bullying tendencies. And somebody asked me, how did I handle that? I'm gonna be honest. I'm very cool. I'm very calm. I'm very collected. I don't sweat the small stuff because I don't let people take me to that place. I ain't, it ain't worth it to me. But I learned that you can still treat people with love and you
Yeah.
can still address things. So I'm just one of them people that I just I choose a different path. Now it ain't that I can't go there, because there's a version of me that can, but I choose not to. But I wanted to share that story because, and at first it was kind of uncomfortable because it was involving a female and me being a man. Like, how you gonna let a girl do you like that? But here's my thing, the perspective that I have. I was more gentle. And the reason why I was okay with sharing that story is because one thing that I learned even from working in the funeral business, everybody don't play. You know, there are some people that if somebody go there with them, it might not end too well. And so I think that it's always good sometimes to take your stories and hopefully, you know, help people to choose a better path with it. You know, it's not about whining or complaining and all that. Like, you know, I don't sweat the small stuff, but it's a lesson to be learned because again, everybody not to be played with. You know, some people have gotten hurt over things like that, and so I just choose not to take that path. You know.
Congratulations to the fact thereof. I choose to take the path that's for me. It is a privilege for us to be able to think myself in or out of anything. It's a privilege to know that I have a choice, that my voice matters, that hold on, that I matter. Which key you want? You want that house key? Hold up. Then you got a mailbox key. Hold on. Then I got to get in the building and up the elevator key. Hello? When are we going to choose to accept our boundaries are for ourselves? And like Chuck said Wednesday, build you a new wall. Tell them what they got going on
I
and
love
just
it.
a new wall. I said, you know what? I got a wall now in front of the boundaries,
And
the border.
shout out to my brother for that gem that he dropped, man.
Yeah, he said,
That's a
build
phenomenal
you
one.
a new wall. He said, change your thought by building a new wall.
Mm-hmm.
So, what would your new wall consist of
Peace and
for the
love.
rest?
Peace and love. Peace and
Peace,
love.
inner calm, and love is one of the highest frequencies.
And what a
One
lot
of
of people, but what a lot of people don't realize is that chaos and drama and stress that can lead people to stroke out. So, you know, I sound like one of the funeral directors at the funeral home, Mr.
oh, yeah,
Ward.
pretty much real. That's the pharmacist, the nutritionist,
I,
at the doctor's office. Hello, in school. It's hello. That is one of the things in mental health that we learn when you become a mental health advocate and peer support. That stress and drama, because you can have colorful chaos. Look at me. Don't play with me. That's the difference. But chaotic behavior comes from a person having chaoticness, which deals with inside of them. That's what their essence is. Paying attention to another person's behavior looks like, what does behavior look like? What is their behavior chaotic? Meaning every time you're having a conversation, it's over here negative. Does it look like we're having what mama and them said, what the church say, what the school say, what the doctor say, what the government say? Because look at me, I don't care what none of them say. It's what I'm saying for myself what's going to benefit me. What am I missing? Cultural stuff. Let me tell you why I say that. When you take off the last, what is it? U-R-E. You are it. Right? Cult is the first letters that's still right there. What cult are you in? What type of culture are you in? Are you in culture or are you in a cult? Because see, if I'm in a cult, that means I'm going along with fa la 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 of stuff over here. But when I'm in a culture, I have my opinion and my voice is being what? Heard.
Yeah.
Facts. Now, then we have when we turn around here that behaviors that also lead to toxicity. When you take the word of toxicity apart, toxic city, that shows you what type of city going on inside of them. And what they want to do is draw you in,
Well, no,
bring you into my world. Misery, love, company. Company of what? Company of the city that's within inside of me that's toxic.
we're gonna have to we're gonna have to conquer that city and turn it into a peaceful city. But we will defend our peace if we have to.
Oh yeah, you know what I say? I defend. I don't go in this colorful chaos because you messing with the colors of me. You messing with my colorful, not colors. colors, color, and then there's mudras. Y'all gotta go look up. Um, yeah, but to you, I want to know. I got a funny for you, and I know I gotta let you go, but I got a funny for you. All right, we got an alert, alert, alert. I gotta be the thing that says alert, alert. Would you rather have to speak in rhymes forever or only be able to whisper?
I rhyme all the time.
Okay, I'm trying to. I saw that one and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna rhyme all the time. I'm gonna be in my bars. I'm gonna spit my spit, put my spit down and let it leak." Okay, all right. So if your sock could talk, what embarrassing secret would they tell?
You need to take care of them calluses, brother.
So when you talk about them calluses, you know I got you together, feet when we was in school. We always have to have laughter. Shout out to Maya Angelou. She said, laugh at everything. And I always remind myself that. That's my reminder for my mental when I'm realizing things I've allowed myself to be around a bunch of chaoticness, right? Or stuff that's not serving my table. So I'll get into this real laughter. And he was funny, man. That's why it look like that when I be on my show. Is because I get myself together before I come here.
That's
See
all
what
right.
I'm saying?
That's all right
Right.
because
So
you want the show to be the best. You want it to be as great as it can be. You know, and it's always great when you're at your greatest. And greatest don't mean actually necessarily perfect in that sense. It just means that you showing up ready. You know, to do things from your heart. You know, speak to my heart.
speak to my heart. If it's key, turn me up there. Okay. Since he decided to go there with that, I have a song for our show. And I think I've only let it play one time. But we're gonna shout out to Galactic Emperor off of the TikTok. Um, Basically, he's on Audio Mac also, along with a bunch of more artists. So to those of y'all who like to use the AI and everything and the AI tunes and all that, you want a little help or help yourself, hello, I'm just gonna say put it out there. Get you one of the apps. If you got some lyrics you got down, hey, put it in there and see what it do. Ain't that right, Mr. Poet? And while he
Yeah.
smiles, I'm gonna get him to really rap for us one day. But while I'm looking for the song, I know you don't have no poem over there, but you about to go freestyle way. Go on and let's get your gift going. I'm a mute while you get ready. I'm
All
trying
right.
to hear the rhymes. You said you rather rhyme than whisper.
Well, I'll share a poem that I wrote called "The Weight of the World" in high school. It's very brief and it's short, but I wrote this in high school. It's called "The Weight
Okay.
of the World." The weight of the world is often heavy. Nothing on this planet is really steady. It is here a weary soul is laid to rest. It is here where man is trapped into the prison trying to impress. It is here where man worship this culture. It is here where man. It is here where Satan sees man like a vulture. It is here where this weight can drive you insane. It is here where man experiences so much pain. It is here where man gets laid to rest. It is here where man learns to take his last breath. So I've learned in this life with all this weight to choose love and not be a part of the God of hate. So yeah,
Fire.
that was I kind of messed my words up a little bit, but I had to go from memory. I did the remix version of my poem. But yeah, it was called "The Weight of the World." I actually wrote it. Actually, when I it was a lot better when I first wrote it, but you know, it is what it is. It was freestyle, but
Yeah. So the poem, which is called Glitch Through the System, I happen to ask the person to do. And they was like, yeah, okay, Key, sure. And then like hours later, I ended with a poem and a little video. He revised the video, but I was so excited because I wrote a poem and I was just playing. I was just like, okay, I just freestyle and flow, y'all. I don't be on no strategic nothing. I just see and I be like, hey, can you do this? And that's how it went. So we gonna go. My poem is called "Glitch Through the System," and he put it in the audio mac and then created a song. Here we go. In the load, pickles and lies, got up to my mind. I'm pictures, redefining the line. Where go in the digital maze, lost in the noise, cut through the haze. Rise like smoke, I don't fall. I evolve to get shit different. Every move, I resolve, and I script the narrative. Feed us the stage. I rewrite the story every step glitch through the system, glitch through the system. You ride the game, you ride the game, glitch through the system, glitch through the system. No more in the mode. I came to break the frame. Hey, Catch Key on Audio Mac, Empress Key, and the song is Glitch Through the System. Just so you know, I'm saying it as usual, Kill.
Yeah.
It's days that I mentally deal with stuff. I'm not going to never think, oh, Key just got it all together. No, I don't. Wait, no, that I go through every day mentally or dealing with something emotionally or whatever. Hey, everybody wants to whatever. I deal with stuff too. I overthink a lot. So I'm going to deal with stuff. But what I'm not going to do is stay here because I'm going to glitch through the system. I'm going to take my pen and I'm going to rewrite whatever they got going on for myself so that I can see me, be me, hear me, appreciate me, value me, and most definitely love on me on purpose. Yo, Wayne, what are your upcoming events for your future? Because Wade is moving over here to the west side. Wait, where you at right now?
I'm in Chicago, but if you would have waited like 3 more weeks, I'll be back in California. I'm excited. I'm
Don't be
super
dumb.
excited. I'm, I'll put it like this. I consider that my first home now. Chicago is my birthplace, but California is my new home that I've been embracing for the last few years. So I just kind of been getting things kind of set up and taking my time, not rushing anything. But change is a part of life. But I'm very excited. I'm gonna go down there and, by the grace of God, finish the rest of the stuff that I need to finish out that way.
So for those of you who are on this side, which is, hey, I'm in Oregon, so he's gonna be in Cali. That's what's up. Hey, West Side Connection. Shout out to Ice Cube and everybody, all the family over that way. Snoop Dogg, Suge Knight, Suge Knight. Hey, I bet I'm gonna put Suge Knight on my mic. I promise you that. I meant that.
But you
I
know what?
meant
We got a lot of people.
yeah.
That was another
We,
fellow. There was another fellow content creator from Chicago. I just saw he had posted a video, said he moved to Atlanta. He said he ready to, people are moving around, and I think that's a beautiful thing because I always say it's a blessing to be where you're from, but I think sometimes we get caught up on where we're from. We got to focus on where we're going because our days are moving by, and I feel like you go to a point in life to where it just may be time for you to kind of move around. And like for me, like I said, it's not so much about chasing any industry or nothing like that. I don't care for that. You can be a filmmaker anywhere, but it's just another assignment that I've been given. So I got to embrace it, and I'm excited for
oh, see, I don't need that clapper. I
it.
don't need the clapper, but I use it. I like it. So for myself, for you, continue to see that what is within yourself. Continue to be greatness intentionally. Because as long as you moving, bruh, You bringing others with you. And as long as you know that you're bringing others with you, like you said, I know I'm working in my purpose. As long as I know I'm giving out the same love that I give to myself, you continue to say, yes, it's my time, it's my season, as the song go. So
Oh
you
yeah.
continue to encourage yourself, continue to be in the light to others, but most definitely bring your butt over here to this side real fast, real quick. Hurry up, hurry up. I'm excited for you, the journey for yourself. I'm excited for so many other people out here that I just know of, and everybody. It's time for y'all to celebrate yourself.
And
Celebrate.
to not
Time come.
fear and to not fear change, because again, change is something that's gonna happen in our life, whether we like it, whether we don't like it. So we may as well, just learn to work with it or collaborate with it, because it's a part of life. And I just encourage everybody to not fear change. Follow that plan that God has given you, because it's your gift that He gave you to share with the world. It's not us. It's not ours just to have it and just bottle it up and don't use it. Everybody is somebody. I know we live in this world where we have been put into these different statuses and known, famous, all that crap or mess or whatever. But everybody is somebody. Everybody is important. Everybody has a gift. So walk like it, talk like it, act like it.
Everybody is somebody. That's his thing, y'all. I'm putting that in there. Everybody is somebody.
I live by that. Everybody is somebody. I don't look down on anybody, because guess what? Everybody got a gift that God gave them. You know, and so it's just important to embrace that and love people and be kind to people, because you never know. You never know. So it's just always good to be kind to people. Everybody is somebody. Yeah, I live by that. That's my motto.
And that's why we gonna leave it right there with you and your motto, because I have been like, wait a minute, it's something he be saying, and but it's the song in my head. In order to be somebody, so the whole song keep going in your head. And I'll be like, it's something he keeps saying. Everybody is somebody. You are that somebody. You're not everybody. You're just that somebody. Your voice matters. You matter. Continue to shine intentionally on purpose and walk it out. Walk it out. Walk it out. Say yes to you guys. Until tomorrow, which is a Soul Sunday, when we have Mr. Dante himself coming to the mic. Hey, you guys, I'm not even telling you who he is. Y'all just got to be ready to listen. Get your tea, get your coffee, get your plate. I don't care what you get, but get you right here tomorrow, same time, same place, for the next guest on the Speak to My Heart show, where we empower, enlighten, and engage others to walk, stand, breathe, and their purpose on purpose intentionally. Deuces, say yes to you.